on their record, they have played some good teams, and we'll have an opportunity to rebound one of them tonight and finally get in the win column.
So, we will. Somebody will get there tonight, and we'll get an idea to see who that'll be. You know, Coach, they call it the Soul Bowl. Did you have something to do with naming it that?
Just a little something. Maybe just a little something, Coach. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun with my time when I was the athletic director at Rickards. And this was one of the things that we thought would bring both communities together and have a good time and an opportunity to fellowship with one another. A lot of times there seems to be a penchant for animosity or people wanting there to be an animosity between the two schools or between Leon and Gadsden County, and it's just not that way. And so we want to be able to, we wanted to have an opportunity to bring the teams together, the schools together, and do something fun with the community and have a good time around a great football game.
Well, Coach, I'm glad to find out that, you know, in your modesty, that you laid claim for having something to do with the title Soul Bowl. Because if that is in 70s, I just don't know.
It is. I'm a 70s baby.
Yeah, you're a 70s baby.
That's
right.
right.
You took them back to the 70s.
Took them back to the 70s. You had two great coaches, Quentin Lewis for Rickards and Corey Fuller, of Rickards alum. And definitely now no one can take the claim of best trash talker than Corey Fuller. And so
you think Corey's one of the best?
Oh, absolutely, hands down. If it were an Olympic event, he'd win a gold medal.
I won't argue that.
That's right.
It's Coach Fuller's third stint here at Gadsden County, a 10-year NFL veteran, having been with Minnesota, Baltimore, and Cleveland, and is the only Big Bend player that was the Big Bend Player of the Year and the Big Bend Coach of the Year. Our graphic is wrong. He wasn't the Big Bend Coach of the Year in 2017 and in 1989. In 1989, he was the Player of the Year. But we're going to stop right now for the national anthem. And that's the Crawfordville Lindy's High School Game of the Week pregame. And Rickards is.
Rickards has the ball, first and goal.
Look like we had a jump there, Coach.
No, we had a timeout by the Raiders. We had a fumble on the punt, and the Raiders were able to corral the football, and they're going to take over first and goal from about the 2-yard line of the Jaguars.
And what has happened is actually the kicking game itself has been an adventure for both teams.
Well, actually had a really good punt by Hall on that last play, and like you say, the kicking game being an adventure, Gadsden County being unable to field the ball cleanly, and instead of the runner falling on it, tried to pick it up and make something happen, and ended up making the situation worse.
Well, special teams can make you or break you.
Oh, absolutely, a major part of the game.
How much time do coaches actually spend on the special teams?
Coaches spend just about as much time in the special teams as any other area, but some coaches don't place an emphasis on it, and it definitely needs to be emphasized, and those special teams guys have to know that they are a vital part of what's going to happen in the ball game. And we got a rush handoff to Rickards, puts it in for the score.
And there's a score. Rickards is back in the game.
Devin Bailey taking it in 2 yards out for the touchdown. And we talked about that special teams coach. We're going to find out what type of an adventure this is going to be for the Raiders, because they've been unsuccessful on several extra point tries this season.
Have they?
Nasir Mubarak in to attempt. Snap is good, hold is good, and the kick is good.
Wow. And they're pretty excited about taking that extra point.
I think that might be his first one this year.
Hey, no better time than the present time to be able to do that and put that one in for him.
Absolutely.
That makes it 7-7 in the first quarter here. And we're here on Friday the 13th, and we will be back. And we have a 7-7 score. Coach, I don't know about that clock over there. Now, how much time does that thing say?
6 minutes, 48 seconds to go.
Okay, very good, Coach. Thank you very much.
And the kick by the Raiders, fielded by Gadsden County at the 15. And ball carrier jumps over the pile, weaving his way through traffic. And the Raiders corral him right at about the 27-yard line. And that's where Gadsden County will take over first and 10.
The 7-7 score now has both teams very, very active, and just the momentum for the game is better.
Yeah, for the game is better, but you can tell that momentum for Gadsden County changed quite quickly, and they're going to now have to have that offense take it the length of the field as opposed to their last drive getting it on the 19 of the Raiders. So we'll be able to see what this offense can do in this particular drive. First and 10.
Pat Thurman let us know that the audio is working now and they're able to hear it, so at least they will save some of your corny jokes earlier.
That is right. I'll take that, no problem. Listen, they might not have been able to hear, but they just saw a big tackle in the backfield by number 55, Preston Loggins. Big defensive tackle. Loss of about 3 for the Jaguars, bringing up second down.
Woo, thank you for opening that door.
Yes, sir.
That'd be part of my my weight loss program.
Rickards personnel seem to be incorrect on the field, and they're going to call timeout. That's going to be their second.
That was a smart move at that time to be able to do that and get that timeout in.
I definitely think so. When you have a loss on first down, and you don't want to give Gadsden any momentum by not being able to line up properly or having the correct personnel on the field. And you see the Rickards trainer.
You have to love the pet bands. The influence of the 100 is prevalent to almost every high school band in this area.
Absolutely.
He got through the game. Oh, Coach, he was one person away from popping it.
Well, I think he had holding there, so that might be coming back. Flag came from the opposite side of the field. And we talked about the influence of the Marching 100 on the bands here locally in the area, but also around the state and around the country.
There was a penalty flag on the play.
Absolutely, there's holding on the Jaguars,
Went against the Jaguars.
and it was a good call. I saw that quite glaring, that holding penalty, so that's going to back the Jaguars up 10 more yards, put them in deeper field position.
Momentum changing now.
Yes, the Rickards defensive staff has to like what they're seeing right here as they continue to push the Jaguars back.
Well, we have an official timeout for water there. And Insight's high school game of the week. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Lynn County Sheriff Walter McNeil with a reminder, the decisions you make now can impact the rest of your life. One bad decision could lead to trouble. Surround yourself with positive people. If you are more proud and behind bars, or don't make yourself a target. Protect your personal identity, like your social security. Your future is a brave new leader. Be hard, but work hard. I'm Sheriff Walter McNeil, and all America.
We have 5 minutes and 53 seconds in this first quarter.
Second and very long for the Jaguars.
Wow, Coach, that's second and Shaq in a Shaq tennis shoe.
Second down and 38 for the Jaguars.
Second and 38.
5:45 counting up to go in the first quarter.
A second and 38, Coach.
Young and Chad is your quarterback. Hands it off
And
to
there's a handoff.
number 11, up the middle he goes.
And they had a big hole open up, but it closed up pretty quickly.
Coach, I think they see something there that they like.
Yeah, they continue to go there, and they're having a little success. Number 44, Trayvon Ryle, shut it down though, bringing up third and long. Snap to the quarterback.
Scrambling.
He's going to try to use his legs, but he is tackled from behind by number 27, Jeremy Reynolds.
And
That's going to bring up fourth and long for the Jaguars, and the punt team will take the field. Raiders send two men back deep. Jordan Greenwood and Robert Pompey.
End over end kick.
And
No
goes
fair
to
catch.
Pompey.
And
He feels
breaks
it,
the
gets
front.
around the left. Oh. Coach, I was looking at the game, so I didn't even see you talking, Coach. I hear you.
Coach, it's all right.
No.
We got a penalty flag and on. Who we have it on, Coach?
I'm going to think that flag is going to be on Rickards. We'll see what the referees call.
And we'd like to congratulate number 35, Jalen Black, Dr. Arthur Wood, an academic student of the game, highest grade point average in community involvement with a 4.3 grade point average from Gadsden County. We acknowledged and sent some information out yesterday about his awards, and he was one of the most humble student athletes that we've been involved with in the last 4 years. And very honored and humbled to receive the award already. His intent to attend the banquet that we have going in May. Congratulations to Jalen and his family. The 4.3 grade point average that he has. Congratulations for that academic success and for his career. Jalen Black, number 35.
That last penalty we had was on the Jaguars, personal foul. Hand off to DeAndre Francis, and he breaks through the line, pickup of about 8 yards for Francis.
And Rickards is actually beginning to take control of this game, Coach.
Yeah, we've had some
9 yards, bring up second down and 1.
blunders by Gadsden County that allowed Rickards to be able to get in good field position to score on the last drive. And then you had a really good punt return, but the all-important personal foul call against Gadsden County. So they're giving Rickards an opportunity here to gain some momentum, and we'll see if the Raiders can continue.
Does a lot of that have to do with the youth on the Gadsden County team?
Definitely youth all around. Youth on the Gadsden County team, but also over on the Rickards sideline as well. And a lot of times these young guys let the emotions of the game take over, and it's hard for them to control it. And they do things that they should not do, and it costs the team ultimately. But we see it all over football. I've yet to see a really, really disciplined team this year. So a lot of teams are having problems with guys not making the greatest decisions on the field.
And we noticed that last week when we did the game in Georgia with Pelham and Brooks County.
Yeah, it was definitely penalty
Look at
laden.
that line moving, Coach.
Yeah, that line is really
They
getting
got a
some
good
movement up
push,
front.
Yeah.
So Francis is able to take it.
I think they're getting a little bit more action off those tackles, Coach, off the guard and tackle there, which we thought they might have more success running up the middle than trying to turn that corner on them. And they're beginning to just exert their will on them right now.
Right, they're running power. They're running basic power right now. You get a double team block down on that tackle, and you allow lead in up on the end. And Francis has been able to pick up some nice positive yardage, and they come back the other way with the same play and pick up another first down. So they definitely have found something that they like, the Raiders up front against the Gadsden County front.
And Gadsden County making some substitutions there. They're starting to wear them down a little bit. 2:33 left in the first quarter. Rickards rebounding from an early 7-0 deficit at the hand of a bad snap. Had a fumble. Gifted Gadsden County the ball inside on the 19. And right now, Rickards is just dominating.
And again, handoff to Francis, and he takes it up in there. They're really getting some really good movement up front.
Coach, you're just wearing them out right now. As you said, the power game.
Yeah, just running power. They continue to run power. They've run it the last 3 or 4 plays. I think they came 2 times to the left, once to the right, and now back to the left. And they're making no secret of it either.
No, and they're alternating left, right, left, right.
Yep, they're making no secret about what they're doing. Same formation here. Thinking Francis power left. This time he bends it further outside. He's going to walk in the end zone. DeAndre Francis 3-yard touchdown for the Raiders.
Coach, you called it. You said the intent was to push it to him. So there's somebody laying on the ground. To push it in the middle, and it would open up the open up the
outside run.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep,
Thank you.
absolutely. The great thing about that for the Raiders is they finally got some life up front. They've had a pretty good run game this season, actually, but they look more dominant on that particular drive than they have all year.
Okay.
That's actually been the strength of their offense is the run game with DeAndre Francis and Devin Bailey. But that particular drive, Coach, they look really, really sharp in doing exactly what they wanted to do. They executed that perfectly.
And, Coach, we just hope that all this is right now is just a situation where we have cramps. And we're going to take a break right now, but we will come back.
Hello, I'm William County Sheriff Walker.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it a round of applause.
One bad decision could surround yourself.
Yeah, that young man they lost right there carrying a little bit of weight on him, helping clog up the middle. They're going to miss him in the middle there. So our Coach Fuller go out and help him off the field. Rickards lined up ready to snap it.
Number 55.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of depth Gadsden County is going to have on that defensive line now with that big fellow coming out of the game.
Well, when Coach Fuller came over, he only had 15 players. We were here for his first couple of practices. And he was able to get the numbers up to 35, then 40, then 45. So he's drawing interest and support in the local community with the student athletes from the area.
And it's no good.
They missed
kick-
that one.
No good. I thought the end got an early jump, but no call.
Gadsden County
That keeps Rickards up 13-7 with a minute 31 to go in the first quarter.
With him. And what's your thought now on how this game is playing out, Coach?
Well, I think the Raiders have done exactly what they want to do other than that turnover that they had in the very first possession of the game. But they wanted to come out and establish a run. I did talk with Coach Lewis earlier. He felt like that was going to be their strength to continue to run the ball. And but he does want to be able to put it in the air. But I can tell you, if they're going to run it with the type of pace and the energy that they ran on that last drive, they're not going to throw the ball at all.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
So 1:31 to go in the first quarter. Rickards up 13-7.
The Raiders will be kicking off.
And there's a kickoff. Nice kick down to the 15.
Might be a good return here.
Oh, definitely got a good return there. Oh, nice move at the 45-yard line. And he's still up, waiting on the officials to blow the whistle there.
He fought for every inch.
He definitely did. He definitely fought for every inch. I think we anticipated an earlier whistle by the officials, but he did a great job on that return, and Gadsden County is going to start 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line.
And Gadsden County showing that there's still life
Yeah.
in their body. It's still the first quarter.
Well, yes, still early.
13-7. Corey's not going to let his teams die. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's definitely not his persona.
And neither coach.
They're going to fight to the very end, that's for sure. Oh, handoff up to number 11. And he takes it up, takes it about 8 yards. That's Thomas on the carry. He's a sophomore.
An excellent first down play. Positive yards. Makes it a very manageable second down. Opens up your playbook for you, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It gives you an opportunity to pretty much run anything that you like at this particular time. We got trips out to the right for Gadsden County. Quarterback takes it up the middle, but he is stuffed.
He lost a yard or two there.
Stuffed in the backfield. Loggins on the penetration. And Preston Loggins has had a really good first quarter, Coach. He stopped several plays in the backfield for the Raiders.
We had a little, after the whistle play here, the referee stepped between them as we had a Gadsden County player knocked on his derriere. He stepped in between them and stopped it. He very easily could have thrown a flag. But I'm also kind of glad they're beginning to let the game settle down and have a life of its own and allow the young men to play a little bit more without the officiating taking over.
Yeah, we got twins to both sides for Gadsden County. Big pass rush, and that pass is broken up by Riles, intended for Jalen Black.
And that in itself was an excellent pass. Jalen himself, the Dr. Arthur Woodard academic student of the game, 4.3 grade point average for his grade point average and community involvement.
Unable to reel that pass in. Gadsden County is going to bring in the power back. And all set out, and there's a big stop in the backfield by the Raiders. Number 11, Alvin Bell, with a big tackle in the backfield, and they're going to turn it over on downs. And that Rickards sideline is really amped up right now.
And that ends the first quarter, and we now go to the second quarter with the score. Rickards 13, Gadsden County 7. We'll be right back.
Crawfordville Lenders is a place for you to go for your chicken. It's a short drive down Crawfordville Highway, located at 2120 right across the street. You can get all your fried chicken needs, chicken wings, and chicken tenders to your choice of flavors. The boneless chicken sandwiches are made from whole chicken breast and dressed exactly how you want it. You can even order hot chicken, H-A-W-T hot. No need to go to Nashville. It has a great slow burn. Try it. We do chicken right. Crawfordville Lenders.
Co-captain, Mikhail Gordon. Co-captain, Jasmine Jordan. Freshman, Dania Milton. Kendall Jackson. Zykeria Harrison. Jemiah Otley.
And the cheerleaders being recognized here.
Maya Brown.
And we want to have a special shout out
Anthony Brooks.
to a graduate of
Zanaya
Quincy
Jackson.
Shanks, Jasmine Grice,
Zanaya Carroll.
being inducted to the Florida A&M University Hall of Fame as we speak. One of the all-time leading scorers in the history of women's basketball at Florida A&M.
Cameron Powell.
Parents Vincent Grice here in Quincy. Active family, grandmother played, mother played, all here in Quincy. And again, McNeely. Okay. I wonder if that's Janiyah McNeely's little sister. Janiyah played at FAMU High. She could shoot the lights out the ball. A lot of talent at Quincy, just historically. But congratulations to Jasmine Grice and the Grice family.
Devin Bailey with the carry up the middle.
With a nice low tackle, because anything else, Coach, he had a head full of steam. They were going to bring him down.
Absolutely. He runs hard, Coach.
Yes, Coach.
He runs tough. He had an awesome carry last week against Madison, barreling over defenders, carrying 3 and 4 people in the end zone. And Coach, the Florida A&M Athletic Hall of Fame tonight, Principal Doug Cook is also being inducted for Rickards.
6'9", basketball player, men's basketball team.
Bailey around left end, kind of lost his footing there, stumbled a bit, unable to really pick up any yardage on that second down play.
As the season progresses, Rickards has improved, and they're playing with, even in this game, we've seen them gain confidence each time they come out with the ball offensively. they begin to have confidence in what coach has been telling them in terms of establishing their will to run. If you can't, an offensive line coach, explain to people why the offensive line much rather run block than pass block.
What offensive line should much rather run block than pass block. That's where they earn their bread and butter there on that O-line. And initially had some movement, but Gadsden County did a great job defensively filling and able to make the tackle. But you want your offensive line to be able to establish the run game. Football throughout its inception has been all about being able to dominate the line of scrimmage and run the ball. And it's more of imposing your will on your opponent and wearing that man down in front of you, letting him know that you got a good man in front of you all night, and we're going to try to really run this ball right over you.
And most offensive linemen enjoy that forward ahead thinking and delivering the blow as opposed to settling back in pass protection and having to take it. But they like delivering that first hit. So we've been in the weight room all summer to be able to handle these type of situations. And who took the timeout, Coach?
Nobody. No timeout. Third down. Coach, it's almost an embarrassment, almost an insult to a really good offensive lineman to pass the ball, 60, 70% of the time.
Look at that time.
Oh, we had a curl and looked like a wheel route on the outside. Ball goes through the hands of the receiver, Caleb Akoff, and almost caught by Greenwood.
But, Coach, I'm impressed with the fact that Rickards seems to have found them a quarterback.
Yeah, they definitely seem to have settled in right now on the young man transfer coming in, and he seems to be doing a really good job.
And the
Jamari
offensive line is
Paramore.
giving him time back there.
Yeah, offensive line doing a really good job giving him time, able to step up in the pocket. And Rickards going to field that punt at the 28-yard line where Gadsden County will take over.
13-7 there. 13-7. And Insights High School Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Crawfordville Lenders is a place for you to go for your chicken. It's a short drive down Crawfordville Highway, located at 2120 right across the street. You can get all your fried chicken needs, including chicken wings and chicken tenders to your choice of flavors. The boneless chicken sandwich, the baked whole chicken breast, and dressing exactly like
Join us.
And we're back.
Jaguars. Quarterback hands off to the single back.
Jaguars take the ball around the left side. Pickup of about 4 on that.
Short gain on the play. That'll bring up second down.
And those are
I
the
keep thinking that Jaguars are actually going to pop one of these.
I was just about to say those are kind of plays that Gadsden County wants to continue to establish, because eventually there's going to be that missed tackle or that overplay on the run, and they're going to be able to break one for a long gain. They just have to stick with it. You got trips right for Gadsden County. Quarterback rolls out, and pass is completed.
I didn't know if it got there, Coach. If you had told me it bounced, I wouldn't have been surprised.
It definitely looked like it was going to come up short,
It did.
but Jalen Black was able to get his hands up underneath it and make a clean catch.
Dr. Arthur Woodard, academic student of the game, congratulations, and makes that play. Academic student and excellent athlete.
And we had a miscommunication there offensively. Quarterback tried to make something happen.
The coaches on the Gadsden sideline are upset. The offensive coordinator is trying to tell him right now. Gadsden can't shoot itself in the foot when it looked like they were beginning to establish a drive, but it looked like they called that against Rickards.
Well, what concerned me on that play, Coach, is that you had a play go awry, but the decision-making to continue to play was not the best. That could have easily ended up in a turnover, even though there was a penalty flag on the Raiders.
On the defense, 1st and 5 for the Jaguars.
4 down linemen for the Raiders. 3 linebackers. twins to both sides for a Gadsden handoff, and that's what you were talking about.
And the runner picks
And a nice pickup of 6 yards there.
Let's make some noise, Jaguar fans.
Gadsden County may end up in a situation where that missed extra point will come back to bite them.
Well, it always comes back to hurt, Coach. Those extra points, when you don't take care of those, they're going to always come back to hurt you in the end at some point.
Getting up on that line quickly now.
Quarterback drops back. He's being flushed out of the pocket. Raiders in pursuit and unable to get him in the backfield. Quarterback able to scramble out right and pick up about 6-7 yards on the play.
I didn't think he'd be able to turn that corner. I actually thought that Rickards was going to be able to catch him in pursuit. He surprised me with that speed there. He had a little burst, Coach, that he couldn't catch him.
Picked up about 8 on
So you
the
got about
play,
2nd
but
and
it's
2
up
now.
2nd down and a short 2.
Second and 2 for Gadsden County. And run goes up the middle, bends it back to the right, and he has a big gain.
And the runner
I thought they were going to call a horse collar.
It looked like it.
Yeah, didn't it? And he made that run on his own, Coach.
Yes, the play initially was to go left, and he saw something quickly and able to bend it back right and pick up substantial yardage, giving 1st and goal for Gadsden County.
And
Fumble.
Gadsden County to the line quick.
Raiders all over that play as the ball was fumbled on the snap. I think a little too much celebration though by the Raiders. They need to get lined up, Coach.
See, Coach, a little bit, and there's a flag.
On the play.
What would he be calling from that deep in the secondary, Coach?
Not quite sure. Unless it's some type of holding. He did throw that from deep. Let's see what the call is. It's a dead ball personal foul on Rickards.
That's going to be automatic first down, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's first down. Gadsden County's picking up the tempo a little bit here.
They are.
And
On
Rickards
the
is
other hand, you were saying that they needed to settle it down a little bit. You still a believer of that?
Quarterback once again hands it off to the single back. Up the middle he goes.
back up the middle, unable to cross the plane of the goal line.
Bring up 3rd down. All right, Jaguar fans.
He's a big back, but that time he hit the hole standing up, Coach.
Yeah, you got to really lower your shoulder and find that crease and be able to get in.
Make some noise.
Right there, we got. Now I thought it would have been a first down with that personal foul call,
I don't know what they did, Coach.
but they've got 4th down on the box.
They do. They do.
I'm not quite understanding why on that dead ball personal foul it didn't move to automatic first down. The referee is taking a timeout. I think maybe they're going to have to.
By the Jaguars.
Oh, Gadsden County called timeout.
Okay. And we'll take a timeout. and we'll be
Crawfordville
right
Lending
back.
is a place for you to go for your
Crawfordville
chicken.
Lending.
It's a short drive down Crawfordville Highway, located at 2120, right across the street. You can get all your fried chicken needs, including chicken wings and chicken tenders in your choice of flavors. The boneless chicken sandwiches are made from whole chicken breast and dressed exactly how you can even order hot chicken, H-A-W-T hot. No need to go to Nashville. It has a great slow burn. We do chicken right in Crawfordville.
And we're back, and I see that you're doing your homework a little bit, Coach. What did you find out for the listening audience, viewing audience?
Well, it said that the penalty did not occur beyond the first down mark because they're at goal already. So dead ball personal foul does not gain an automatic first down for the offense.
Oh, okay.
I guess we learn something new every day.
Quarterback up the middle.
4th and goal, quarterback sneak, and I don't think he got in. He is short by 1 yard.
Down,
Rickards holds, Coach.
10 Raiders.
And both teams are both of them are, if you go by body language, they're both almost dejected walking on.
I think everybody was kind of perplexed, thinking that would be a first down, but the Raiders do a great job right there, Coach, and hold on 4 downs.
may become a critical part of this game where Rickards was able to hold off Gadsden County from being able to punch that in for him.
That was huge, Coach, because you're talking about a one-possession ball game, and you're first and goal inside the 5-yard line and unable to come away with nothing.
0.
Nothing there. I'm pretty sure we all know what's coming here for the Raiders.
Yeah, over the top, 99 yards.
Yeah, they got DeAndre Francis in the backfield, and if they come out in that split back formation from the gun, we're definitely going to see more power here.
They never did start the clock, Coach.
We've had a delay of game penalty. Delay of game. It's only going to be half the distance to the goal, but they don't have a lot of room to work with.
They actually were walking, and nobody seemed to be having a sense of urgency to get the game in play there. We were just talking about it. And we thought where the clock hadn't started, it had already run down.
This last series has been
Interesting.
very. Let's use that. Let's go with interesting.
Let's go with that.
Quarterback keeps it up the middle, and did he get out of the end zone? He did.
If he did, he didn't get out by much.
He did. He's going to be stopped. He's going to be on the 1-yard line.
Okay, defense is coming to play for him a little bit down there. They can pin them back. They end up getting the ball in pretty good position.
Second down from the 1-yard line for Rickards. That play clock is winding down again, Coach.
Correct.
Got to show some urgency.
No sense of urgency on Rickards' part. Down to 4 seconds.
And again, there's a handoff, and that time he did not get out, and we got a safety.
They got that safety there.
So oddly enough, no movement by the offensive line on that particular possession, and it ends up in a safety where we just saw the offensive line dominate in the last series.
That's right. That's right. What adjustments did Corey make for that difference that we just saw on that defensive line?
Probably said a few things to his players to motivate them a little bit.
No, Coach. You think Coach Fuller can say a few things to get him going?
I think so. I'm pretty certain. You got a team backed up and down on the 1-yard line. Mm-hmm. You got to make something happen because they're not looking to throw the ball.
Okay.
Rickards not looking to throw the ball there. Gadsden County able to sit on everything and be able to bring everything that they have to stop the run, and they were able to do that and get a safety out of it. So just when Rickards came up with a big stop on downs, first and goal from within the 5, Gadsden County is able to take advantage of having that ball back on the 1-yard line and able to pick up 2 points. And there's the kick. It's a really high kick. And comes down. And it is caught and will be fielded right there at the 41-yard line for the Jaguars. They're going to start 1st and 10.
41-yard line. 6:07 left to go in the half.
And we've got 6:07 here to go in the half. And we got a water break coming up. Very interesting turn of the table there,
Field, timeout.
as Gadsden County was able to pick up a safety. No movement on the offensive line by the Raiders, and we had just saw the Raiders put together a really, really great drive, able to move Gadsden County off the ball. But nevertheless, they're now going to take over from their 41-yard line, starting their next possession. Both teams get ready to enter the field. We're going to see if the Raiders defense can put together another stop here over the Jaguars. You've got twins in the offensive set for Gadsden County. And handoff goes right up the middle, and the Raiders are able to get the stop. Pickup of about 2 for Gadsden County.
It's a good kick to get them out of that end zone down there, Coach.
Yeah, field position wise right now, not necessarily hurting Rickards with that kick.
And Rickards hoping that their defense will, begin to hold up a little bit. They look like they got a little winded on that last drive. To the air.
And we haven't seen that a whole lot by either team. A lot of pressure has been put on the quarterback for Gadsden County, where he's had to be flushed out of the pocket and roll and unable to really be able to see a receiver to get a pass off. But that time he delivered a pretty nice ball out to his receiver for a pickup of about 7. And once again, there's that penetration in the backfield by the Raiders. Safety coming up, making the play.
Yeah, it's Gadsden County a yard short. I had the feeling that Corey's going to go for this.
I think he's definitely going to go for it. I would look to punt here, though, and try to flip that field position again. You just pinned Rickards deep, and they were unable to really make anything happen.
So you covered both bases with your bets there. He's going to definitely go for it, but I would punt it. Got 11 seconds. They're taking their time. Oh.
And stumble in the backfield. And nice play once again by Malik Franklin coming up from the safety position, making the stop. And now you're going to turn the ball over in your own territory, and where we talked about maybe punting the ball and trying to flip the field position.
It was a situation where it was a bad snap. Quarterback looked up and the initial play had already been blown up, so he tried to salvage something out of it with just his speed and quickness. He wasn't able to do it then. But
Nope.
Good position for Rickards.
Well, you have that just about that same amount of speed and quickness on the defensive side of the ball as well. These teams are going to be matched up pretty evenly with the athletes across the board that both of them possess. Quarterback back to pass. And there it is, the Greenwood. And he drops a sure touchdown for the Raiders.
Second down.
A sure touchdown. I told you. Rickards has found their quarterback.
Yeah, they definitely have found a quarterback.
We haven't seen that play, that pass for Rickards since the days of Destin Coates and Marcus Riley.
DJ Phillips, Marcus Riley. Yeah. But right now it's Jamari Paramore that seems to have found his footing at the quarterback position for the Raiders.
What's his classification, Coach?
Paramore is a junior.
That holds a little future for Rickards.
Yeah, 6 foot, 165 pounds.
Yeah, our cameraman almost missed that touchdown that we almost had.
Like I say, he's got a pretty good arm there.
I think she was smelling barbecue somewhere and almost missed the play. They got to give up tips and keep it going.
Sure touchdown by Greenwood. He's definitely going to be disappointed in that effort there because he should have been able to walk in the end zone. There's Paramore.
Nice play. Looking away to the left and come back to the right for the pass.
Yes, sir.
DeMarcus Buck, we agree with you. It is a pretty good defensive game. It really is.
Pass out to the fullback.
Thanks for that, DeMarcus Buck. Where you from, DeMarcus? Who are you pulling for? Who are most of you? We got about 30 listeners out there. We got Rickards fans, or we have Gadsden County fans, or we just have high school football. What do we have? Let us know. Give us a shout out so we can say something to you.
Ball is placed at the 35-yard line. The quarterback hands it off to the runner around the left end.
There's Bailey around left end. I think I saw a penalty flag being thrown. Actually, no flag on the play.
Coach, I was trying to see what you saw.
3:05 and counting left to go in the first half.
3:05 left in the first half. That's accurate there.
Quarterback number 15 is in the shotgun
Insights,
formation.
high school game of the week on Insights TV. Follow us, INSIIGHTS, 2 eyes in the middle. Insights TV.
Prior to the start of the play,
Follow us,
that penalty will go
Insights,
against the
here
Jaguars.
on YouTube.
Encroachment
Free to the listening audience.
on the defense.
Thank you, Earl the Pearl. He's been working on getting those subscriber numbers up. Well, we were around 1,400. I think Earl the Pearl got about 200 subscribers in a day. Well, he's working on being a permanent fixture in terms of getting some of that vanilla bean lemonade.
I sure do. Thank you. I'm not going to turn it down, that's for sure. Pass goes deep and almost picked off by the Jaguars.
That'll bring up third down.
Right there, I understand what the quarterback is thinking. 2nd and 2. Go ahead and take a shot to the end zone, but you had double coverage there. And you can't make that throw in that particular situation. You got to look at your check down and pick up the first down and just keep the chains moving.
Well, as you said, it's 2nd and 2. If it's a down to do it on, that's the down.
That is the down. You want to make sure that you have the right coverage and you're throwing against it. They're going to hand this ball off to Bailey.
Quarterback once again hands it off to the first.
He picks up the first down pretty easily.
And the runner, once again,
Devin Bailey is definitely a hard, tough running back.
Difficult to bring him down on first hit. And Rickards' tackling got a lot better. In the first time, they were not tackling. People were bouncing off of them, but they're doing a lot better now.
Here we go, 1st and 10 for the Raiders from the 22-yard line. They got a pretty nice drive going.
They do. 1:58 left in the half.
Paramore hands off to Bailey once again. Jaguars all over it right there. An offensive line has got to maintain those blocks downfield.
Well, he's not the one who's been really, that's not where he's been making his living. He's been making his up the middle. Him trying to stretch the field hadn't been successful using him as the back to do that.
Yeah, that's a really good observation. DeAndre Francis has been the guy who's able to scoot through and pick up really good yardage on those power plays. Paramore back to pass. That ball was almost picked off. Rickards really working this boundary over here. They've been consistent here the last 3 or 4 plays. They're really working the boundary of Gadsden County. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen a whole lot come back field side where they have a little more room to work with.
Good one, Coach. And we keep talking about Rickards finding a quarterback. They have been minus a quarterback for a while since, I guess, as you said, DJ Phillips went to Florida A&M.
Yeah, really, Marcus Riley was an exceptional athlete.
It wasn't a quarterback,
But
but he just played the position.
That's right. Oh, that's going to be a pick. And that's going to might go all the way, Coach. Bailey in pursuit. Gadsden County runner cut back. And that's an outstanding job by Gadsden County with a great defensive play. Able to pick that ball off the tipped hands and return all the way down to the 30-yard line.
And we had a big-time interception there. They got 1:06 left. Gadsden County fans are going crazy in here.
Yes, they are.
The accolades we were giving to the quarterback, ball got tipped, and they were able to return that ball and flip the field with 1:06 left. That could be a critical turnover here with 1:06 left in the half.
That could be. Coach, I'm going to tell you, though, you had a really big hustle play by the Raiders to run that down by Bailey. He really got on his horse and was able to make a tackle, a touchdown-saving tackle, if you will.
It was nowhere to go. He tried to pop it outside and wasn't anything there. 57 seconds left.
55 seconds.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to have to hustle. I think they may have one timeout remaining.
They're going to have to get this ball up and moving a little bit quicker and get to that line of scrimmage.
They got to put it in the air as well, Coach, and pick up some chunks.
45.
And there it is. Quarterback back to pass, holding
Way
it.
too long.
And he's going to throw a pick. And he threw it right to the Rickards defender, who's able to bring it back to the 30-yard line
And
for the Raiders.
33 seconds left in this turnover last minute.
That's a triplet on the interception. And he's able to get the ball back for the Raiders.
And just that quickly, the momentum changed.
He had all day to try to make a decision, and he ended
It was
up.
uneasy in the pocket,
He
Coach.
definitely was.
From that 31-yard line.
Definitely uneasy in the pocket, and it cost him in the very end.
And Friday the 13th, proving to be bad luck for these quarterbacks.
It's been pretty scary.
Yeah, it really is. With the full moon here.
Raining down on the field, yes it is.
33.3 seconds left to go before the half.
13-9 score here. I thought Rickards would just kind of run it and let the clock run out.
And they will. Francis around the left end, and that's probably going to be the last play of the quarter.
Nice gain on the play, brings up second down for the Raiders.
I think that's going to take both teams into halftime. Rickards probably will not get another play off and definitely not turn the ball back over.
No, they're in no rush now. They'll gladly take a 13-9. Oh, Coach.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why they decided to snap the ball there.
And that's the last play for the half. And this is Insights High School. Hey, we'll be back, though. We're here to make sure there ought to be a humdinger here this second half. Insights Game of the Week.
This will update you on some of the other area football scores. In the game, Bozeman versus Cottondale at the half. Bozeman leads Cottondale 20-0. In the game against Florida High versus PK Young. At the half, Florida High is winning 37-0. In the game, Garvey versus Edgewater at the half. Edgewater is leading 20-7. In the game, Rutherford versus Mariana. In the second quarter, Mariana leads 10-6.
And we get ready to start the second half here. We have, as our viewers have said, it's a defensive struggle. The turning point there.
Yeah, it has been a defensive struggle, but it's also been an offensive turnover fest and penalties as well to lead to the defense being able to really kind of take charge of the games, Coach. So we're looking forward.
Well,
like we said, Rickards has found a quarterback.
It's not as bad as I've seen in the NFL. My team had 18 turnovers. Had 18 penalties the first game.
Oh, my goodness.
So I right now I can't hardly claim them, but I'm with them win, lose, or draw.
And it's being live streamed on YouTube. All fans should go to YouTube and subscribe to Insights. That's INSIID.
Well, they're spelling out the insights. Our announcers, you've done a good job of having the announcers really promote us.
At 4:30 p.m. every Saturday.
Relationships mean a lot.
Game of the week. At this time, we'd like to acknowledge Mr. Jalen Black, a senior of Gadsden County High School. He is the recipient of the Arthur Woodward Academic Student of the Week Award. He has a 4.3 GPA. Congratulations to Mr. Jalen Black. Let's give him a round of applause.
They just announced the Dr. Arthur Woodward Award winner, Jalen Black, and gave a round of applause. I really enjoy a lot of these facilities that we play in. The longer we stay, we just keep building in those relationships and people understanding that what we're trying to do is help promote their student athletes.
And we got the start of the second half. Ball muffed by Gadsden County. They'll take over 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line.
And I expect we're going to see pretty much the same of what we saw the first half.
Well, Gadsden County's got to get something really established. They were kind of up and down and not really able to fully establish anything, run or pass. They kind of were able to put some things together, make a couple big plays that were able to get them on the board. And remember, their first drive started at the 19-yard line, and then they got a safety after pinning Rickards deep after Rickards stopped them on downs. So they really haven't done a whole lot offensively other than the 19 yards that they picked up to score the first touchdown, Coach.
Well, exactly. Rickards has been doing a really good job on the defensive end. And then conversely, Gadsden County has not been bad.
No, it's just been one of those games where we haven't had a lot of points put on the board. We haven't had a whole lot of offense. Our teams have been able to capitalize off of the field position. That was a big hit.
Popped that one loose. And see, even Rickards scored because of Gadsden fumbling the ball on a punt.
Yes, they did.
They got excellent field position when they able to convert their first touchdown.
Now, they have had one solid drive. I believe it was 41 yards in total, where they were able to move the ball down the field with a really good run game. But it has been a defensive stand here. Quarterback back to pass with the deep ball. It should have been picked off, but it bounced around off the hands of Orion Ellis. And he should have came up with that ball. He is having a conversation with his teammate, but he really should have caught that ball clean on the interception, but nevertheless, it's going to bring up 4th down for Gadsden County, and they're going to have to punt it away.
That interception would have served a punt, like a punt for them. Special teams has always been an adventure. There's been 2 touchdowns scored because of miscues made. Nice punt there on the kicking game.
Oh, dangerous play by Rickards. We continue to see that.
That is all pet peeves, isn't it?
That is definitely one of my pet peeves. When that ball is not in a good, clean fielding position, get out of the way, young men.
But they continue to be involved with trying to field that ball, and it presents a problem. Insights High School Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Crawfordville Lending is a place for you to go for your chicken. It's a short drive down Crawfordville Highway, located at 2120, right across the street. You can get all your fried chicken in, chicken wings, and chicken fingers in your truck. Only chicken samples, baby, whole chicken breast, and dressed up You can even order hot chicken A-W-E hot. No need to go to Nashville. Has a great slow burn. Try to eat your chicken right across the middle.
Okay, Coach, what was a long discussion with the referees? That was a penalty, Flint?
I think it was, Coach, I'm not sure. That ball was moved back. Was it a first touch that they called it dead?
I don't know, Coach.
Possibly was the first touch that they called it dead. I'm not quite sure. Has plenty of time to throw.
And he's sacked for a loss. Let's make some more, Jaguars.
Everybody went deep for the Raiders. He had nothing underneath or intermediate. He did have a running back out in the flat, but he was covered up as well. So that's a great coverage sack by Gadsden County.
It wasn't creative. They ran a go route. All 3 of them ran go routes.
You'd have to.
They gave him substantial time to make the pass, but nobody was open.
They did. You'd have to believe that somewhere there was the wrong route was run, because nobody came up underneath.
Bring up 2nd down and 22.
So I'm definitely going to believe that all of those receivers didn't run the correct routes.
I don't know if this player at the bottom of the screen, it looked like he was catching cramps hobbling out. Still hobbling on the sideline. I didn't know if he made his way off the field in time there.
Right, I was wondering, they did not call the penalty.
They did not.
And he does immediately grab a water bottle, which you come out of halftime cramping. And I've always said to our athletes, what are you doing during the week that you're not properly hydrating yourself? Nevertheless, 3rd and long for the Raiders. Bailey is going to get the first down. He has some really good blocking up front by the Raiders. Excellent job by that offensive line.
More players laying on the field.
Jonathan Donaldson, number 58, really made the key block to spring Bailey for that long run, and they're going to pick up a first down. And we got a Jaguar player on the field.
Looks like another one with dehydration. I see Coach Fuller walking out. Insights Game of the Week as we sort out the injury. We'll be back.
Crawfordville Lending is a place for you to go for your chicken. It's a short drive down Crawfordville Highway, located at 2120, right across the street. You can get all your fried chicken needs, including chicken wings and chicken fingers in your truck split. Among the chicken samples are made from whole chicken breast and dressed exactly right. You can even order hot chicken A-W-E hot. No need to go to Nashville. It's a great sport.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause. give him a round of applause. Number 20, DeMarcus Davis.
It's not often you see that the coach is the first person on the field consistently when somebody gets hurt. He's usually the last one.
Yeah, because typically they're trying to sort out what their next play is going to be. You have counter action by the Raiders.
Oh, there's some action right here in front of the referee.
Good, clean football. DeAndre Francis able to pick up about 6 yards on the carry. He's more explosive of the two backs. Bailey is definitely the power runner for the Raiders. Francis is the one that really gets it moving in the backfield when he takes that ball. The Rickards coming out, Twins left. And there's Bailey. He's bouncing outside, puts his foot in the ground, gets back outside again. And I think he might have enough. Maybe a little short.
Maybe.
No, he picked it up. He did get to the chain.
He did get it. It was close.
It was close. But Devin Bailey picks up the first down. And the Raiders are moving the chains.
Was not happy.
No, he definitely wants to see a better effort from a pursuit angle with those guys coming up, being able to make a play. Right now, the Raiders running backs are being able to outrun the pursuit of the defense. It's picking up extra yardage, and they're able to move the chains there. Got a little trap there. Bailey once again to the boundary, keeping his feet in. Great balance, and he picks up another Raider first down.
Bailey's actually putting on a pretty good show here tonight.
Devin Bailey's a really good running, powerful running back. And as you saw right there, great balance, being able to put his hand on the ground and pick up a couple more yards. Looks like he is going to come up just shy of the first down, but the referees are moving it back. Looks like we got holding on the play.
We had a penalty flag.
That's another one of those things that continuously shoots Rickards in the foot. Last week they had a 76-yard touchdown call back on the first play of the game for a hold.
Devin Bailey, 5'11", 170, senior. We'll probably see him playing somewhere next year.
I definitely think he's definitely going to get a look at some level at the collegiate level.
Well, how's our guy Gadsden coach doing at Georgia State?
Doing pretty good. Gadsden is contributing for Georgia State, and they picked up that big win over Tennessee a couple weeks ago to start the season. But Gadsden's doing just fine.
And Marcus Riley.
Yeah, Marcus Riley.
Tell us about Marcus and where he is. Well, we know that he's a Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, Marcus transferred from Louisville upon their coaching change and ended up down in Daytona Beach at Bethune-Cookman, and had an opportunity to see him 2 weeks ago in Atlanta for the MEAC SWAC Challenge, and Marcus is doing really fine. We spoke at length at the team hotel, and he's doing really good.
How much of a factor will he be for them?
He's definitely going to be a factor no matter where he plays. I think Marcus Riley is definitely an NFL talent.
Okay.
And I've felt that way for a long time now. He's definitely going to have an opportunity to get a shot at that at Bethune-Cookman.
Right.
They play Miami this week.
They do.
So he's still playing on a big stage.
Well, speaking of signing, congratulations to April Manning, one of the all-time greats back in the days when we were the Rattlerettes. Critical, instrumental, along with Rosa Hudgens and Cynthia Lee, Eston Gale Myrick, and Val C. with wins we had over Florida State and Florida. Her son played at University of Central Florida, signed to go to Dubai. 6-figure contract, housing, food, car, no taxes. Great opportunity for him to be able to go over there and play. Congratulations to former Florida A&M University standout and her family, Dayon Griffin, 6'5" guard.
That last pass by Paramore falls incomplete. And are we going to have a turnover on downs, or is Rickards going to punt?
That's a
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and punt. I'm sorry.
Raiders.
We got punt formation. The Raiders
nice kick.
going to try to pin Gadsden County deep, and he muffs it again.
Again.
And that was really, that's a really good.
No, that was a fortunate break because it would have given Rickards excellent opportunity again. But, Coach, he had a running start trying to catch to field that punt.
Well,
It looked bad from the beginning that he was going to field it clean.
my concern is that he was inside the 10-yard line and tried to field the punt inside the 10, but that was really good strategy by the Raiders coaching staff because they have been having those difficulties with fielding punts tonight. And so now you pin them deep where they'll have starting field position at the 16-yard line, and they come out and looks like they call timeout.
They did. And Insight's high school game of the week. We'll be back.
Place for you to go for your chicken. It's a short drive down Crawfordville Highway, located at 2120 right across the street. You can get all your fried chicken needs, including chicken wings and chicken tenders for your choice of them. Over the chicken sandwich, you can even order
And we're here with Earl the Pearl. He saw himself on camera and tried to get out of the scene.
Tried to. Here we go, the Raiders. Great penetration once again in the backfield. Jeremy Reynolds causing havoc back there. Corey Hayes and Trayvon Riles on the tackle.
Coach, they cannot afford any mistakes at this point because errors now are critical in terms of how this game ends. You can't make that big mistake, Coach.
But you see there on the defensive end, Rickards is not ready to play. They are still looking at the sideline trying to get the play call. And Gadsden snapped the ball and nobody was in their stance.
Okay, and then Coach on the field there?
Yep, Coach Lewis is on the field. There was a penalty on Gadsden County. And I think they weren't set either for the play because that flag has come back behind the line of scrimmage. And so we'll probably have illegal motion. Wait on the referee's signal. Illegal motion is the call. That's going to back the Jaguars up. They really tried to pick the tempo up there and get that play started while the Raiders were trying to get their defensive call, but they didn't even get set at the line of scrimmage or lined up correctly. So that's going to back them up. Inside handoff.
He popped through there pretty quick, Coach.
He did, and they've been having some success running that play tonight, but they get away from it. They have a little success, and then they get away from it.
Which tells me it's a team still trying to find their offensive identity. You know, but we would think that once you find something that's working for you, that you stay with it.
That's true. Do have new coaching staff down there, and they're still trying to, as you say, find an identity and figure out what their personnel is capable of doing. We've got man-to-man coverage on the defense in the back
He almost waited too late
end.
to make that pass.
And the defender gambled
He did.
on the interception and came up with nothing.
Coach, he looked at him so long before he made that pass. I thought he waited too late. He actually got it there a half beat ahead of the defender. Ended up popping a big one. What's that, about a 25-yard gain, isn't it?
Yeah, that was big for Gadsden County, able to make that reception and get some positive yardage and get from the shadows of their end zone. So Gadsden on the move, handoff, around right in, and they pick up another first down, and that's one of the best runs that they've had tonight. Well blocked, well executed by Gadsden County.
And the more impressive thing, they've had a few runs that was very similar, but they were usually called back by offensive miscues with a laundry on the field. That one came away clean.
So we got trips left. We got a bubble action. Quarterback takes it right up the middle, but he is stuffed by Corey Hayes, number 47.
They're showing a little bit more diversity in their offensive sets that they're running now, Coach.
Yeah, a little reverse action right there. A little eye candy for the defense to try to catch them, give them something else to look at, but not necessarily executed great up front and only picked up a yard on the play. So Gadsden looking at 2nd and 9. And here we got a false start on the wide receiver.
Gadsden has shot themselves in the foot most of the game.
Yes, they have. They're really having a tough time getting some continuity and getting some things going offensively. The penalties, being stopped on downs, turnovers. It's been a myriad of problems that they're having, but look at the score. It's still 13-9.
Well, what is your projection for both of these programs moving forward?
Quarterback hands off to the first back.
Handoff up the middle. Projection. Coach, both teams are going to have some work to do. They're going to have to continue to get better throughout the season, and I know that's pretty vague, but both teams are still trying to find their way and what they're able to do offensively, defensively, putting the best packages of personnel together. For example, Rickards just now, here we are 4 games in, and just now finding a quarterback. So that right there alone, he's going to have to continue to grow into that position. And that ball is almost picked off again by a triplet. That actually went through his hands. That would have been his second pick of the game.
He wasn't close. He threw 3 steps behind him that time.
So we got 4th down again by the Jaguars, and they're going to decide to punt this time and try to get field position. We saw in the first half where they decided in the same situation to go for it, and they were stopped.
Almost same spot of the field.
Yep, almost same spot of the field. This time they're going to punt, try to get field position on Rickards as they send 2 men deep back. They got Francis and Greenwood back to receive.
And these punts have been an adventure.
And we got a delay of game now on Gadsden County.
Which might not be that bad to give them 5 more yards.
Yeah, they give them 5 more yards to really try to get a good punt off. It's not really going to hurt them in this situation.
13-9, 2:41 left in the third quarter. Make sure you go down and hit subscribe at YouTube over there. Bottom right-hand corner. Oh,
that punt bounces back. Did it hit a Rickards defender?
It almost did.
Rickards player, no, it did not, but it almost did.
It almost did.
There we go once again, Coach. We've been seeing it all season.
All season, Coach.
On these punts.
And we'll take a break. We'll be back.
Invitation to our Northside Kiwanis group. We are a lively group that meets at 7 a.m. They're called the Early Risers, and we have a lot of entertaining speakers, and we would just love to have anybody come out and join us for a free breakfast. And
the Raiders will have the ball first and 10 at their own 17. Join us.
Join us. Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us. Join us. Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
And there's Earl the Pearl, my co-host, partner in crime. Getting ready to get it going again.
Paramore with the handoff to Bailey. He takes it up the middle. He may have picked up a yard.
He's probably close to 60, 70 yards today.
I would venture to say so. He's had some really good runs. I was really impressed with the run that he had earlier in the quarter, is able to keep his balance, put his hand down. We've seen that quite a bit from him this season. Mm-hmm. He's really doing an outstanding job back there, taking advantage of his carries. And there's Francis with the handoff. Gadsden County overruns it on their angle, and Francis able to pick up considerable yardage. It's going to bring up 3rd and short for Rickards.
Runner stops short of the first down mark. Brings up 3rd down and short.
So, Coach, now are you playing just trying to run this out? You playing the clock or trying to make sure you don't do anything to hurt yourself?
That's exactly what you're doing. Rickards just doesn't want to turn this ball over right here. They want to be able to continue to pick up a few first downs, keep Gadsden County out of positive field position because they haven't been able to drive the length of the field at all. And so if you can continue to move the chains, pick up first downs, not turn the ball over, make silly penalties at inopportune times, you can kind of control the rest of the half as the clock is winding with 1:05 to go. And so that's what Rickards is trying to do here. They want to be able to control the ball, not make any mistakes. Don't turn it over. Be patient within the play clock in the offense and try to continue to get positive yards.
You got 52 seconds left.
Got another late Gadsden County defender coming off. Francis around the right end. And those safeties really came screaming for Gadsden County.
Ask the Earl. Ask the Earl, a popular segment. Earl, a question we just discussed it just a little bit. What is the difference in playing to win and playing not to lose?
Well, typically playing not to lose will cause you to lose. All too often, and we see it all the time, all too often, teams get into a groove and things are working well for them, and then they start trying to get conservative. When you get conservative, it takes the momentum and the rhythm of your team away, and you start to create those situations where you're uncomfortable with what you're doing. So it's always best to play to continue to win. You want to play to win the game anyway, but not playing to lose is that can be definitely detrimental.
Okay. Is there a situation that you could be in where people might end up playing not to lose?
Yes, when you're up 50.
He said, when you're up 50.
That's the best time to play not to lose.
And we're going to take a break and come back for the fourth quarter.
Extend an invitation to our Northside Kiwanis group. We are a lively group that meets at 7 a.m. Early riders, and we have a lot of entertaining speakers. We'd love to have everybody come out and join us for a free breakfast and hear our program.
Join us.
Join us.
Oh, boy.
Join us.
Oh, boy.
Join us. Join us. Join us. Join us, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what we're going to do with Ask the Earl. They say when you're up by 50, that's when you play not to lose. Oh, boy. That's... I asked for that one. I really did.
Yeah, you set yourself up for that one, Coach.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Francis trying to get something going around the left end. Still fighting. When are they going to blow the whistle? Goodness gracious.
Well, they threw the flag over here 10 yards behind the ball.
We have a penalty flag thrown on the play.
And the Rickards players looking perplexed. Don't seem to understand what the penalty is. Big linemen downfield looked like they were doing a pretty good job, I guess, in their estimation.
This play was way behind the ball. Coach, did he put it in his pocket? He put the flag, okay.
There was a penalty flag
Yes, it was.
on the play.
It was declined by the Jaguars.
Went against the Raiders, but it has been declined by the Jaguars.
And they're gonna play with that defense.
And a much more manageable down for Gadsden County here.
And we got 3rd and about 12, 3rd and 13. And so that's why they declined the penalty.
no,
They're already behind the chains.
Right.
All right, Jaguar fans, let's get behind this defense. Let's make some noise. Third down and 13 for the Raiders.
Trips right for the Raiders. Oh, my goodness gracious.
And it got through. No, coach. He
DeAndre Francis saved.
He saved 6 because that was a pick 6.
He did.
Fourth down. Let's make some
You
He threw
are.
that one up in the air like it was my grandson who's 6 throwing it up in there.
Oh, my goodness.
Everybody was holding their breath. We were expecting to see a sprint to the sideline.
You're absolutely right. I think we all held our breath up here in the press box. Nobody could say anything because you almost couldn't believe the type of pass that was thrown. And then for Francis to go up, he's might be one of the smallest guys on the field. He goes up and is able to corral the ball
He did.
and then tried to actually make something happen.
He sure did. The gutsy little move there.
Yep, so here we are.
2 seconds. They got it off just in time.
They get it off.
Kick.
Hall with the nice punt, fat catch call, and able to be brought in.
The Jaguars will take on the ball first and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
And in that change of possession, we'll take a break, but we'll come right back.
Hello, I'm Wayne County Sheriff Walter Field with a reminder, the decisions you make now can impact the rest of your life. One bad decision could along with
Gadsden's on the ball, and they're ready to play.
Rod is your quarterback, number 2.
Yeah, they didn't waste any time. They're going to try to pick up the tempo here
Right in goes.
because
Nice game.
they got to really try to get something going. And so they may try to speed this up here.
The side of the field.
Now, which is the other side of the field?
Well, you got a flag on the play. Towards the end of the run, he had holding
Go against the Jaguars
against Gadsden County, and that's going to back them up 10 yards.
on the play.
So once again, another untimely penalty for Gadsden County as they continue to try to get something going.
Well, those first down penalties have hurt them all day, all evening. They'll have a very positive first down play, and it'll be called back.
Yep. Trap
Hands it off.
play, and the Raiders are all over it. Fumble, and Gadsden County is able to get the recovery.
That was a very different kind of plant and turn up the field there.
Brings up second down.
I think he planted on his opposite leg, and what you normally see, it looked really awkward, almost like he hurt himself.
It did, Coach.
Gadsden County back at the line. Rickards not ready. That defense has got to get those signals in quicker. And we got a pass breakup,
And that pass is broken up.
and that's going to bring up third down for Gadsden County. Third and about 16 for the Jaguars. We got twins to both sides for Gadsden County. Back to the boundary, quarterback back to pass. He launches it,
Receive out.
and it's going to be incomplete, but we got a flag on the play,
Flag thrown.
and I do think we're going to have pass interference on Rickards.
We had a lot of people over in the stands standing up trying to help them make that call.
There's a penalty flag thrown on the play.
I think he did help him as well. That's a tough penalty on Rickards.
That penalty will go
That's
to
gonna-
the Raiders.
I don't think it's going to give Gadsden County a first down. I think it was about 3rd and 16. So I believe they're still going to come up short of the first down mark.
Pass interference on the defense.
It's still going to be 3rd down.
It will remain third down. Third down is short for the Jaguars.
3rd and 1 for the Jaguars.
9:23 left to go in the game. All right, Jaguar fans, let's get up and stand on your feet for this offense.
And they're going to quarterback sneak. They'll pick up the first down.
All right, the quarterback picks up a first down.
And that was a very fortuitous pass interference call. That's going to allow the Jaguars to pick up a first down across midfield.
And we have a pretty good discussion going on our Insights live stream about next middle school game.
Oh, Gadsden County around the left end. They're gaining some momentum as they pick up another first down. Once again, I don't think Rickards was fully ready to play defensively.
That's happened a couple times in the second half.
They've got to get lined up quicker and ready to play, and Coach Lewis elects to call timeout right here to try to settle this ball club.
A good time out there. And Insights High School Game of the Week. We're going to come right back.
Once again, we'd like to announce that tonight's game is being featured as the Insight Game of the Week, and it's being live streamed on YouTube. All fans should go to YouTube and subscribe to Insight. That is INSIIGHTS. Insight. 2 I's in the middle. Also tune in to WCTV2 at 4:30 p.m. every Saturday for the Insight Game of the Week.
Slow motion jump with Terrion Otto.
First and 10 Jaguars.
And we're here.
Here we go, Gadsden County, first and 10.
Much room. Boy, is he throwing that flag up in the air.
Face mask. He slung him down by his face mask. Running back gets up, looking out of his ear hole, Coach.
Coach, I'm surprised he could look out of any hole.
That's one of those penalties.
Around, didn't he? Jesus.
Another one of those penalties now here for the Raiders. Going to cost them 15 more yards. That's going to move that ball down inside. Looks like inside the 15-yard line of Rickards. Gadsden County is on the move.
And Rickards is helping them be on the move.
And these are the types of things that Rickards has been doing this year. Penalties against Childs, penalties against Leon. Cost them field position against those pretty good teams. Also cost them last week against Madison. Quarterback goes up the middle on the read option. Gadsden County is moving at the 8-yard line of the Raiders. And here we go, Gadsden County. 5 wide, quarterback right up the middle. And he's moving, driving that pile now at a standstill. But he might have picked up a first down. Just short. I think we'll probably see the same thing on the next play. Jaguars huddle up. They're going to try to use some of this clock now. Oh, I thought he picked up a first down, and he actually did. And they're going to huddle up and try to use up some of this clock now as they have first and goal from the 4-yard line.
Now they're going to slow the pace down just a little bit. As you say, use up some of this clock and see how Rickards responds. But they have to first get it in. We can't assume that they will score.
No, they've been in this situation before and did not score. There we go with the same thing. And we got to stop.
Touchdown.
Oh, he got in. Touchdown. They've been
at the bottom of the screen. We had a call, and that's where it came from.
Coach, they've been hanging around. And we said as bad as we look at how they've played, they're right there in the game and now have taken the lead.
And there's still plenty of time. We got 7-11 left in this one, so it's a lot of time for the ebb and flow of this contest.
It is. But I can tell you now, Rickards is going to have to come back and really commit to the run and try to get something going because that's been their bread and butter. Great job by Gadsden County on that drive.
Flag.
I think we probably have somebody lined up off sides. And that's it. Yeah, Rickards lined up off sides on the play. Of course, Gadsden County is going to decline and take the extra point.
Now, the interesting thing is they were waiting to see because neither of the officials under the goalpost signaled if the kick was good or not.
Well, they're giving Coach Fuller the options.
Well, Rickards left the field.
They might decide to go for 2.
That's a possibility, Coach. You're making a 4-point game. The defense is sprinting out.
Yep, they're going to decide to go for 2.
Oh, they're not. They got a kicker back there, Coach.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, was the kick not good?
That's what I'm saying. They never signaled. They never signaled if the kick was good or not. Each official looked at each other, and they never signaled.
Okay, perhaps it was a dead ball penalty.
Oh, gee.
And that one is blocked. And that might prove to be really big coming down the stretch. 2-point ball game.
Now that I wish we had somebody that would explain to us what actually happened. The only thing we can assume is that the kick wasn't any good. That's the only thing that makes any sense. But we got 7-11 left in the game with a 15-13 score. Gadsden County up by 2. And we did at least want to mention that we had a tremendous halftime show with several fireworks displays. So that was a little interesting.
Very.
Coach said very. And we will be right back for this
Game of the
kickoff.
Week has returned for its 4th year. You can see the best high school teams in the North Florida and South Georgia area. Our Leadership Academy and the Dr. Arthur Woodard Student of the Game. Saturday, 4:30 to 7.
This one is going to come down to the last couple minutes, Coach.
Raiders field the ball.
Taken by Raiders.
And he tries to pick up whatever yardage he can.
If ever one of those quick backs from Rickards pops that first line, from Gadsden, from Rickards, it'll be all over with, Coach. They'll never catch him.
Like you say, Coach, this is going to come down to the last few minutes.
It sure will.
Unless we have an explosion of big
Game of the Week has
plays.
returned for its 4th year. You can see the best high school teams in the North Florida and South Georgia area. Insights is a part of the community. Sponsoring our Leadership Academy and the Dr. Arthur Woodard Student of the Game. Awarded to the student with the highest grade point average and community involvement. Insights, Game of the Week gets back. Stay tuned.
Quarterback hands it off.
There's a handoff to Devin Bailey.
Hand on the play brings up 2nd down.
See,
And there we go. We're going to have a personal foul against the Raiders.
Yes.
That's those undisciplined plays that Coach Lewis has been talking about this year, where his ball club just continues to have unfortunate penalties because of their undisciplined nature. So that's going to cost them 15 yards.
Coach, that's critical. As soon as they did it, the whole Godby bench started jumping up and down.
And they bring up 2nd down and long for the Raiders. All right, Jaguar fans, let's make some noise for this defense.
Okay. A lot of energy over here on the Gadsden County bench now. Looks like they've taken a timeout here, Coach.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll have officials timeout for water break.
We have a timeout.
And we'll take a break, too.
Timeout, Raiders. Second down and long for the Raiders. Quarterback pass. It's incomplete, but we
That pass outright incomplete. But we have more flags on the field.
We have more what? Are you kidding me? Not a penalty. 6:32 left.
They definitely going to have to put him in the washing machine. Now we have a legal man downfield on Rickards. That's going to be declined.
will go against the Raiders, and it has been declined.
All right, we had a big discussion last week when we were in Georgia about the best chicken sandwich. Who has the best hamburger, Earl? Whataburger, Wendy's, McDonald's.
Well, I happen to like Earl's myself.
When do they go on sale?
Quarterback once again drops back.
Oh, here we go. Paramore back to pass. He's getting out of the pocket and able to make a throw out.
Pass is caught.
That's caught by Greenwood.
Way shorter the first down.
And it's going to bring up.
About 11 for the Raiders.
They said it was, as our announcer said, it was way short of a first down, 4th down, 11, but it wasn't a turnover.
Yep, 4th down.
It was just a lot of things that could have gone wrong on that play.
Rickards is going to
Got
be forced to.
6:02 left.
Yep, Rickards will be forced to punt here.
And again, that's an adventure. Gadsden has to feel this punt. We have learned to anticipate something on every punt.
That was really smart by Rickards snapping that ball with 1 million Gadsden County players on the field. Looked like the whole team was out there. So that's going to be illegal participation. That's going to move the ball up 5 yards. Might change Coach Lewis's thinking right here.
Well, you also had predicted a win for Rickards. How do you feel if Gadsden is able to hold on to this? How much of an upset is that?
We have offsetting penalties.
Oh, Coach,
We will replay
that's definitely going to be.
Would it be a big upset? I'm just asking.
Well, both teams are coming in. Neither team has won a game. I guess it's based in the community. It'd be an upset for
Another
the
flag.
be upset in the eyes of Rickards.
We have a time.
I'm pretty sure Gadsden County didn't come into the game thinking this would be an upset. So for them, it'd be just another notch on their belt and a victory, the first of the season that they're looking for as well.
Okay. I had you stumbling on that one, so I'm gonna take a time out. Get the sheriff to come arrest you.
The decisions you make now can impact the rest of your life. One bad decision could lead to trouble. Surround yourself with positive people. Being the warm crowd and behind bars. Don't make yourself hard. Protect your personal
And what was that, Earl, you wanted to go to?
Yeah, you said I was stumbling through that answer. Admittedly so. You know, I still have nothing but love for the Rickards Raiders, that blue and gold. I've spent, I think, the last 13 years at Rickards, Coach, and
Okay, but
with that time as athletic director, I don't want to see nothing but great things that happen for the students at Rickards.
okay, but the question was how much of an upset would it be if Gadsden upsets Rickards?
It won't be an upset.
Okay.
You want that answer? It won't be an upset. There'll be some upset people,
Okay.
but no, it won't be an upset. Gadsden County, like I said, they're coming in expecting to win the game, just like Rickards would be expecting to win the game. No team really had an advantage more so coming in because neither team has won a ball game this year.
Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to Insights. Those of you who really want to stay in tune to what games we have coming up next, you can find out on our website, www.insights. All games are listed. Those that are shown on WCTV2 and another flag, and those on Insights TV. And we're getting more and more interest on our middle school telecast. And to be completely honest, those of you that face mask on Rickards.
Yep, They are self-destructing.
Those of you that have been following our middle school telecast, last year when we did the championship series, it was the second highest rated game that we had all year. And because of the type of support that you have given it, we've gone back and put more of the games up. We have one of our games from the Jamboree is approaching 1,000 hits on it already from 2 weeks. So because of your interest and your support, we're letting those clicks tell us what games to show. So we appreciate your interest in the middle school telecast that we do. Nowhere are they showing the middle school telecast like we're showing them here in Leon County. Watch and see who else picks them up, because the Insight's never a follower, always a leader. We got a second down, 4 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in a 15-13 contest. Gadsden County taking their time, in no rush right now, clocked at 13 seconds, 12, 11.
And they're going to have to hurry to get this one off. And they do just under it.
And
Quarterback keeps the ball, and he picks up nice yardage right up the middle, about 7 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 2 for Gadsden County. This is a huge play. These next 2 plays that you get.
15 left. Go ahead, Coach.
These next 2 plays might, or they're not might, they're going to have a major impact on the ending of this game. If Gadsden County can pick up a first down here, it's going to be really tough.
3 seconds.
Oh, that's a big stop.
Big time hit there.
Wow, that is huge. Jeremiah Williams for the Raiders shoots the gap, and he makes a outstanding play. That coach, that he lost about 8 yards on that carry.
Big time play there. Big time players make big time plays.
Yep.
We got Insights High School Game of the Week, and we're coming back, and we have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left to play in this one. And Coach, we really want to see how this one closes out.
It's going to be very interesting. That is for sure. It's some hearts beating.
This is a place for you to go for your chicken. It's a short drive down Crawfordville Highway, located at 2120, right across the street. You can get all your fried chicken needs, including chicken wings and chicken tenders to your choice of flavor. The boneless chicken sandwiches are made from whole chicken breast and dressed exactly how you want. You can even order hot chicken, H-A-W-T hot. No need to go to Nashville. It has a great slow burn. Try it. We do chicken right in Crawfordville.
And we're here, Coach. You got 3 minutes and 36 seconds. What is Rickards going to have to do to be able to pull this one out of the jaws of defeat?
Well, they're going to get the ball back here. They might be able to pick up decent position. A really, really good return would definitely not hurt them. I think that's what they're going to be looking for here on this punt. So we'll see what exactly happens here. Gadsden County, once again, with a player coming off the field late, would indicate that they had 12 men on the field. So they're going to have, looks like they're going to have illegal participation, which is going to back them up even further.
You can't have those type of penalties coming after an extended timeout, because I was just thinking that they took every second of that timeout, Coach.
They really did. The referees are having a discussion about it. So waiting on the call from the white hat. Maybe they had not blown the play in yet. That's indeed what happened. They had not blown it in.
They have
ready
another
for play.
substitution, Coach.
Now they got 12. Now they definitely have 12 men on the field.
Coach Fuller is having a heart attack over here. He ran 10 yards with one hop. Now another substitution. Coaches, he is livid.
They got away with
He made a comment earlier that if he had a team that had come from a winning program, they could have won each one of their games earlier. But because they have not had success winning, they didn't know what to do to win.
That's right.
We got another.
We got all sides on Rickards.
Coach, we've had 4 flags in a row.
It's a penalty marathon right now.
It is. Neither team showing maturity and discipline to be able to win these games, to snatch them from the jaws of defeat.
That's correct. You hit the nail on the head right there. The maturity factor is definitely missing in this particular case. Penalty after penalty.
He's aiming that one out of.
That's a really good kick, and it gets into the end zone.
It did. It did.
And boy, what a turn! If they could have stopped it right there on the 2-yard line, that ball had a chance to be downed, but Gadsden County could not locate it, and it goes into the end zone.
Coach, that was really a curious play there to see how that one was actually going to play off.
And wow, 3:19 to go in the fourth quarter. Rickards on the 20-yard line, 80 yards to score a touchdown. I don't think they're very comfortable in the kicking game to attempt a field goal of any sort. Maybe if they get inside the 10-yard line or so, they might be able to get an attempt, but they've got a long way to go. Devin Bailey on the ground. He picks up about 5 yards.
3 minutes and 12 seconds, and David said, give me the ball. I'll show you what to do. I'll show you what to do.
Bailey running hard there.
Yeah, and he has run hard the whole game.
Yes, he has. 2nd and 5, clock moving. Paramore back to pass. And that falls incomplete, almost intercepted.
Everybody in this press box waited to see what was going on.
I tell you, Coach, this is a situation that Gadsden County would want Rickards in right now, down and having to throw the ball, because they are, even though we believe that Paramore is the quarterback for the Raiders at this point, is still not comfortable enough in the offense to be able to make plays with his back against the wall. But Bailey can make plays with his back against the wall as they pick up a first down.
And again, Coach, the clock is moving. 2:42 actually has stopped.
Yeah, but it's gonna start as soon as the referee blows it in.
Already started. 65 yards to go.
Oh, it's a high pass and almost picked off. That ball came out really high and hot.
He jumped a route. He saw it, came from that free safety spot, and I covered 2, had it in his hands, and dropped it.
And that would have been game over.
That would have been game over.
Very interesting, Coach. If you look at the Raiders personnel, you've got 2 quarterbacks at receiver. And they didn't get set. They didn't get set there. The inside slot receiver. And so we're going to have illegal procedure on Rickards.
And that Gadsden defense is fired up. We got 2 minutes and 24 seconds left with the score 15-13.
That penalty went against the Raiders. Illegal shift. The penalty has been declined.
Very interesting at the personnel on the field with both quarterbacks, both backup quarterbacks, out at wide receiver.
All right, Jaguar fans, let's make some noise on this defense.
That also tells me that the quarterbacks that Rickards have tend to be, right now, more athlete than quarterback.
Gadsden bringing everybody they possibly can.
Flushed out of the pocket.
And that falls incomplete. And they're going to be forced to go for it.
And Gadsden making much quicker substitutions now. They are sprinting onto and off the field.
Gadsden County really close to winning this ball game, Coach. Could be one play away from making it happen.
2 minutes and 3 seconds left. 4th down and 10.
4th down and about 14. All right, Jaguar fans. Let's make some noise for the defense.
We've got timeout, Gadsden County.
Timeout, Jaguar.
We're going to take a quick break and come back and bring the end of it to
Week
you.
has returned for its fourth year. You can see the best high school teams in the North Florida and South Georgia area. Our Leadership Academy and the Dr. Arthur Woodard Student of the Game. Saturday, 4:37. The boneless chicken sandwich made from whole chicken breast and dressed exactly right. You can even order hot chicken S-A-W-E hot. No eating or snapping. And the great High School Game of the Week has returned for its fourth year. You can see the best high school teams in the North Florida.
Here we go, Coach.
Our Leadership
Here we go.
Academy
Fourth down,
and
5 wide for the Raiders.
Dr. Arthur Woodard Student of the Game. Saturday, 4:37.
Actually, we had trips, and this is
Not
Paramore.
dangerous right there.
He-
Rampant.
Oh, what a catch by the Raiders. That's going to pick up a first down. Excellent play by Hall on the reception. And that's going to give Rickards a first down. Paramore making something happen with his legs. Got outside the pocket. Looked like he was going to get sacked, Coach.
146. He did, but once he got out, I thought he might make something happen once he got outside the pocket there. He
And
doesn't try to do too much, Coach. He's thrown a couple that should have been picked.
We have a penalty flag.
Surprise, we have a flag on the ground. Behind the line of scrimmage, there has to be a...
going to be holding on Rickards. Oh, personal foul. Another personal foul. And that's on the same player for the Raiders.
Personal foul.
Unfortunately, Donaldson has had 2 personal fouls.
And looking at it,
Wow.
he took him down, but Coach, it didn't.
That looked like some pretty good acting to me. What you think?
I thought so too. I thought so too.
Now, I definitely could see holding as he was beat initially. And you see on your replay. But I'm not quite sure about a personal foul in that particular instance. That's going to be unfortunate.
Personal foul against the Raiders.
And you have a 15-13 score with 1:35, and it's getting ready to get backed up 15.
Well, that's a really good job by the defender, Coach.
It really was.
He beat the offensive player, and he put himself in a bad position. And because he's picked up a personal foul early, you give the benefit of the doubt that he committed another penalty.
He's been watching a lot of action TV, so he just kind of fell out like he had been punched.
He definitely did.
He just needs to run that one.
Paramore rolling out. I think the decision, if he had made a quicker decision to run, he probably would have picked up more yardage for sure.
Got 1:20 left. Score 15-13. Second down. Clock is stopped. Well, now it's up. It's at 25 seconds.
Gadsden County trying to hold on here.
Do you see Gadsden sprinting off the floor now, the pep in their step?
Oh, yeah. They can taste
Earlier in the
it.
game, they were dragging coming off the field.
And we got that trips right set again for Rickards.
They only needed to work one
Oh, bad snap.
and a flag.
And we had a false start. I think that's going to be actually fortuitous for Rickards in that particular case. One of those wide receivers moved early. Unfortunately, it's going to back them up 5 more, but at least they do keep possession of the ball.
Coach Rickards has probably had, would you say, easy 7 flags in the last 2 minutes?
Self-destructing, Coach. Right before our eyes. This is pretty amazing and definitely unfortunate for Rickards. You talked about it earlier, the maturity to close out a ball game. We did not see Rickards able to close out against Childs. They let that carry over the next week into the Leon game, and then also unable to really get any momentum versus Madison, and now we come in with Gadsden County, and it looks like another false start. That's going to be a legal procedure for the Raiders. And this is almost what happens when you get those quarterbacks out here playing receiver, and they continue to move early. So that time he had illegal shift.
Illegal shift on the offense. That penalty has been declined. Going to bring up third down.
And now we got third and forever for the Raiders.
What do you think happens down the stretch like this, Coach, for your team to respond and have as many penalties as you have the last couple of minutes? I have a theory, but what's yours?
I'm almost amazed at what we're seeing here with the lack of execution by Rickards, and now we got a sack. What's your theory, Coach?
I think that what you have, when you have guys that aren't accustomed to winning, that you try to instill some things in practice. Well, because they're not accustomed to winning, they don't want to work that hard in practice. Mm-hmm. So when you're trying to tell them to do certain things that's going to require extra effort, they don't buy into it. So in the end, when they need that extra energy, that ability to think through being tired, they don't have it because they didn't even give it to you in practice. And when you have an established winning program, when you get new kids in the program, those who are your leaders, tell them this is the way we do it. You're either going to get on board or you're not going to be here. Just like Rickards did when they had Destin Coates and that crew of guys who had been with Coach. When the new guys came in, they said, look, this is what we do. We're at Rickards. You're going to work hard. You're going to do what you're told to do, and it's no excuses. But when you don't have that leadership, they look for the easy way out. And then you see them making mental mistakes, errors, and they can compound it. And I don't say they give up, but they just have never learned how to fight through the adversity that comes with you being mentally strong and to play when you're dead tired.
Well said, Coach. That's all I can say. Well said. Paramore, ball downfield. It's picked, and Gadsden County is going to win this ball game here tonight.
And boy, they are going crazy. They are going crazy up here.
They are going bananas on the sideline, in the press box, in the stands. Gadsden County is going to pull off a win, 15-13 over Rickards here tonight.
We knew it was just a matter of time with that pass, and but he didn't have a whole lot of choices. I still like him at quarterback, though, Coach. There's some things he has to learn, but they have something to work with now. And he's a junior, so they have him for another year. And he started off playing a different position.
Yep.
At the 34-yard.
Barring something very unusual, they'll take a knee.
Yep, Gadsden County will take a knee. And that's going to be the last snap of the ball game. The Gadsden County Jaguars collect their first victory of the season over the Rickards Raiders.
In a game with 22 seconds left, it's a 15-13 game. Both teams are already lining up at midfield. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Yep, we're definitely seeing it right before our eyes.
And the dancers from Gadsden were putting on a show there.
Gadsden County, 15. Rickards Raiders, 13. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give both teams a round of applause for a game well played.
And this was
display of sportsmanship.
An excellent defensive game, and the game went back and forth. Coach, we had one score the second half, and that ended up being the game winner.
Yeah, one score the second half that ended up the game winner. And we said the entire game that it might come down to the end, but we had the defensive struggle going, and all it took was one play by Gadsden County to pull this thing out. You had several penalties and miscues and mental errors by Rickards, and that really, really cost them this ball game tonight.
Now, where does Rickards go from here, Coach?
Oh, wow, Coach. It's going to be tough because you got to be able to keep these kids engaged and keep them believing in the program. You're sitting there now at 0-4, and there's some winnable ball games that are still on the schedule, but this is going to be a tough pill tonight to swallow for this coaching staff and all of these players.
Okay. Now, where does Gadsden County go from here?
Oh, they continue to go up. I mean, this may be the springboard momentum that they need to carry on their season. They're going to have an opportunity to compete for a district title, and this win could be the telltale sign for Gadsden County to get them going in a more positive direction for the season.
All fans should go to YouTube and subscribe to Insight. That is
Coaches, you know, Coach Fuller, you know, he's been a young man that has the ability to change programs. He's been to Gadsden County a few times and has turned the programs around. Rickards have not done well since the loss of Destin Coates when he got hurt his senior year, and they've struggled ever since. I was really surprised with them because I actually like their quarterback, so I think that is resolved. But I think what actually has to happen is that these guys have to buy in a little bit more and get after it and listen. You know, because down the stretch they were horrible down the stretch.
Yeah, they really showed a lack of maturity down the stretch. Did not do a good job executing all of the miscues, the penalties back just one after the other, just to their detriment here tonight, and especially in those final 2 minutes, really back to the final 4 minutes when they had an opportunity to make something happen, maybe take the lead back, but you couldn't get out of your own way in that situation. And so Rickards really falling flat tonight at the end of the ball game, unable to work their way out of some tough situations and be able to come out on the positive end.
And we actually look forward to seeing Rickards again later on down the road there. We do have them again. We do show that game. And we appreciate having the opportunity to well, we got a player there with Krabs, but we appreciate everybody being here. And the Insights High School Game of the Week. We appreciate you being here. Let's see, lesson plans are due. And this is Insights High School Game of the Week. And we are signing off. We'll see you next week. Bye now.
Good night.
Game of the Week. Whatever you want to say.